ABC 3340 sports reporter Johnny Congdon is inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. Johnny, you were in there. Tell us what the tone was like and perhaps some of the reaction here as this news conference has just ended.
Yeah, I heard Jeff say earlier he won the press conference. He didn't just win it. I think he absolutely hit a home run grand slam. And, you know, you mentioned it earlier before he took the podium, Jeff. You said that it was almost like a presidential inauguration. I know that sounds a bit serious with the peaceful transition of power, but make no mistake about it, Kalen DeBoer is no politician. He's a ball coach, as Alabama Athletic Director Greg Burns said. This is a serious dude that's won everywhere he's been. Of course, his record continues to be trumpeted. 104-12 in 9 years coaching. He won 3 national championships at the NAIA level. He was the offensive coordinator in Indiana and then gets his first gig at Fresno State, where he's been successful, and of course most recently taking Washington all the way to the college football playoff and eventually the national championship game. But a couple things that he showed was gratitude, and that's something when he takes this job he understands the gravity of this position, that this is not just a football moment or a university moment, this is a cultural moment within the state of Alabama. We joke all the time that the most important people in the state of Alabama were Nick Saban, the governor, and James Spann, maybe sometimes in that order. And something I have to say about right now is he didn't just invoke Nick Saban when talking about the tradition-rich history of this program. He hearkened all the way back to Paul W. Bear Bryant. And so he understands what he's stepping into, and he made no bones about it. He said he's going to appreciate the privilege to compete for championships. And when you attend the University of Alabama as a student, the first thing you think about is the football program. It's the front porch of the university. I know the presidents have said in past interviews. So something that he's going to be able to do when he hits the ground running is try to gain the respect of his players, and then he's going to try to recruit new ones. And speaking of those former players, something he's told us is that Nick Saban is going to have 100% access to this program. This isn't necessarily a changing of the guard and the old guy leaves and he goes to his retirement house in Jupiter, Florida. No. Nick Saban's office has already been cleared out in the Malmore Athletic Facility and moved into Bryant-Denny Stadium. So he is still going to have a vital role in this process, and Kalen DeBoer is going to rely on Saban for the day-to-day and then game planning stuff. I mean, this is a guy who understands the resources he has at his disposal. And then at the very end, as you just heard, he got choked up talking about the University of Washington and these guys. He said, there's not many places I would ever leave to take this job. Maybe Alabama was the only places, but he choked up, got emotional, a few tears when he said, this is Alabama football. I understand the standard. I understand the expectation. And just a few notes that I have right here, guys. Just the one thing that keeps harkening back to me from listening to him. This is a serious guy. This is a football coach, and you can understand why he's won everywhere he's been. A couple more notes I've taken on my phone during the press conference was the culture is going to be contagious. He said when you watch Alabama football through the TV screen, you're going to feel the passion. You're going to feel the energy. And again, he wants to bring Bryant-Denny Stadium into your living room. So again, this is a guy that has high expectations. He understands the spot he's in, and he knows anything short of SEC championships and national championships is not going to cut it in Tuscaloosa. Whether that be fair or not, that's the expectation that Nick Saban has laid out, and I believe he's ready for the challenge. Stephen, Jeff?
The thing that he mentioned was alignment and how impressed he was with the alignment. We all know what it was like at Alabama before Nick Saban got there. The alignment wasn't in the best shape. You know, you have boosters, meddling, and all that stuff, and Nick Saban put an end to that. And I think that's something that Kalen DeBoer wants to have as well, is that control of the program like Saban had.
Johnny, if you can hold that real quick, I'm going to interrupt. Kalen DeBoer is actually taking the podium to answer some questions. So, Johnny, we will come back to you shortly.